The hall of every possible thing. Silas stood at the tall, silver gates of the great hall. Today was the day he had to choose his future, and the air hummed with 1,000 possibilities. He felt a nervous flutter in his chest, wondering which door he would eventually walk through. Inside, the walls were covered in millions of glowing buttons. Each one promised a different life: a doctor in a big city, a painter in the woods, or a pilot in the sky. Silas reached out, but his hand shook. If he picked one, what would happen to all the others? He wandered into the marketplace of ideas. On one shelf, there were 600 different flavors of jam. Silas only wanted some toast, but the sheer variety made his head spin. He stared at the labels until the words became a blur of red and purple. Above him, thousands of glowing threads dangled from the ceiling like golden rain. Each thread represented a city he could live in, or a person he could become. The beauty was staggering, but Silas felt a strange weight pressing down on his shoulders. The noise of maybe grew too loud. Every option screamed for his attention, and the room began to spin. Silas sat down on the cold marble floor and covered his ears, wishing the world would just go quiet for a single second. A woman named Voda sat down quietly on the floor beside him. She didn't have a map or a list of instructions. She simply sat there, watching the glowing threads dance in the air with a calm expression. "The more doors you try to open at once," Voda said, pointing to a single flickering light in the distance, "the more the draft chills the room. You cannot stay warm if every door is standing wide open." Silas tried to prove her wrong. He jumped up and grabbed 10 different threads, trying to wind them all around his arms. But they tangled into a messy knot, and eventually they all slipped through his fingers, leaving him empty-handed once again. Voda reached into her pocket and handed him a single smooth blue stone. It wasn't glowing or screaming for attention. "Pick one thing," she whispered. "It doesn't have to be the perfect thing. It just has to be the first thing." Silas stood up, clutching his blue stone tightly in his palm. The hall was still full of buttons and threads, but his mind was finally quiet. He took a single step toward the exit, finally ready to start his journey.